Hey coders, in this video we're going to cover lesson 13, and that's how to basically link your screens together. So in the previous lesson you should have made multiple screens, um, even though the lesson was designed to work as a team. You guys are doing it individually. Of course I'll give you guys more time um, and more support, but you're going to be making your own apps. But in this lesson I'm going to teach you how to basically link them together. So just gonna go ahead and go on bubble number one and walk you guys through this if you guys need the help. So building screens in the class design, the previous lesson, teams combine screens into a single app. A single code can then be added to make the buttons click change to the appropriate screens. So kind of like how we used HTML and we made links to go back to the home page, you're gonna do something similar using on event and set screen. Okay. So to complete your app, you're going to need more than the home screen. Each card that you created in your paper prototype represent a screen. To create more screens, just click the drop button, click new screen. Okay. So we're just going to create a about page right here. So to do this, we're going to create a new screen, give it the name about. So you click on the new screen right here on the drop down menu, and we're going to call it the about screen. So I'm going to go here, change the word about, and there you have it. All right, let's go to the next bubble. I think if I hit run or something, I hit finished. Okay. Okay. So make sure you hit the run button and make sure you hit the complete on the bottom. Um, so if we want to add elements to the about screen that we just created, we need to go down here and click on about. Um, and we're going to try to make something similar to this one. So let's go ahead and look at what they got. They have a title, a text, and a home button. Okay. So let's go ahead and make this thing real quick. The about title. So let's go ahead and put I don't know, let's go use um, a label. Okay. And I think the word's what? Recycle Finder. Okay. And it looks about that big. Let's go ahead and change this to Recycle Finder. Let's go ahead and change the label name. Um, let's go ahead and change the size. It looks like it's a little bit bigger. Let's go ahead and use center. That makes it easier for us to center. Let's go ahead and use, I don't know, font 24. Anything else? Recycle Finder. Nope, pretty much good. We are a group of students who want to make it easier for people in our community to recycle more. Okay, so we got a text box somewhere right here. And this is the text area. We are a group of students who want to make it easier for. I don't have great. We are a group of students who want to make it easier for people in our community to recycle more. For people in our community to recycle more. Okay, and it looks like their text is a little bit bigger. So let's go to like font 20 or something. Yep, that looks good. It looks like it's using Justified. Make it look a little cleaner here. They could have used Justified. I like using Justified. And something like that. Okay. And then there's a button on the bottom that says home, right? Or back home. So let's go ahead and make sure that we give this a proper ID here. We're going to call it not label here. So let's do a good job. Let's go ahead and do the proper labels. So this is going to be on the about page underscore title. Okay. Here we're going to do about because it's on the about page, and it's going to be called I don't know, um, about text or something, description text. Let's call it about text. I don't know, something like that. And then we're going to have a button, and we're going to put the text on it is back home, and we're going to call it the about page and the back home button, something like that. I think it's the naming convention they use, and it looks a little bit bigger. It goes across the screen. So let's go ahead and enlarge the button, something like that. Okay, and go ahead and hit run, and then hit finish to show me that you finished. Okay, this is how you make sure that the buttons or bubbles are green. This is how I'm going to determine your progress. Again, I'll give you guys 2 days to do this till Monday. Okay. All right, so next bubble, screen import. So in addition to adding new blank screen, you can import screens from import screen to import screen from someone else. You need them to give them your sharing a URL. Screens you import must not share any IDs with elements already in your app. So another student has created results screen that you can import into your app. This is the link. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and use the import button feature right here. You're gonna go to here, import screen. Okay, it's going to ask for the URL. So we're going to right click here and say copy link address. And we're going to go back here and import screens. So this is going to be helpful for you if you create a screen on a different app and you or a different app lab that you created and now you want to import it. Just go ahead and share it and then use that shared link, put it here, and it's going to let you select the screens that you want and then click import. So now we have the search screen here. And this is a really nice looking page here. Okay. All right. And we'll go ahead and make sure that all these elements don't share anything with names. So this is why it's important that you don't just say back home button, but it's different because we named it something like about back home button, right? So we named it something different. It's not going to have any confusion when we start writing code. Let's go bubble number 5. Okay, so another student created another page. So we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to go ahead and import it. So we're going to do the same process again. We're going to copy the link address. We're going to go here. We're going to go to the import screen. We're going to paste the link, hit next. And then we're going to click all the screens that we want to import. Click import. And now there is a contact button. So we have a home, we have a about, we have a search, and now we have a um, contact page. Okay, and again, it's always good to make sure that when you import it, that everything that you see has proper naming convention and that they don't share any names like the ones that we did on our other ones. Okay. So multi-screen apps is basically what we're making, and here's a couple information about it. Um, So basically, this is kind of like the prototype that they did on paper, but we didn't do one. But we get an idea of how they all link together. And you can see here by their arrows that this is kind of a loop, right? So it goes to the welcome screen, you start playing, and eventually you win or you lose, and then you're going to click start over, right? And they'll come back and play again. So this kind of gives us a flow, right? A control flow of what our program will do. So remember that screen is just a bunch of user interface elements that we create inside the design mode. Only one screen can be visible at a time. Elements belong to the screen. So this button belongs to this screen. This button belongs to this screen. Okay. So buttons just can't appear anywhere they want. We talked about how to make a new screen. You go here, click this button to make a new screen. We can change a lot of the properties, including the ID, the blank area, link other UI elements to it. You can select using the drop-down menu to access the UI elements individually. Um, you can make a screen the default screen, being the screen that the app starts with. We can change the color if we want and add customize if that's what you feel like you need to do. Let's go ahead and go to number 7. So importing screens. So if you were to work in Teams, or you just have an app or app design that you created in a different app and you want to use it over here, you can always import it using the share button. Okay. Make sure that if you do import screens from other apps, that they don't have the same ID that you use inside your screens. Oh, and by the way, again, make sure that all your bubbles are green. So in here, make sure you hit the run button and hit the finish button here. And here, number 5, same thing. Once you're done making and importing the screen, hit the run button, hit finish. All right, so bubble number 8. With our screens in place, it's time to start actually programming the app so that it responds to button clicks. For each button on each screen, you want to add the on event block that watches for that button to be clicked and then responds appropriately. So to start off, we'll watch the home button and print something to the console when it's clicked. So you guys have used on event before. Let's go ahead and review how to use on event. So again, make sure that you guys are using text-based, but it's still okay for you guys to drag it from here to here. So in this example, we're going to make it so that the home button, the home search button, says search clicked. So basically, obviously, we're not going to, in the real app, it's not going to say search clicked, but we want to be able to see that our program is working. So I'm going to move the debug console a little bit up here. So what we're going to do, you can add buttons above, blah, blah, blah. When you write the code that will respond to other entering your app, drag out on event block, select home search button. So right here, the first argument of on event is going to be the ID. So if you hit backspace, it will allow you to populate it with one of the buttons. So if I do this correctly, which is why I don't like doing it like this, I guess if you used block base, it'll actually be easier. But if I just delete the left parentheses and put quotes, oops, it doesn't do it. Let's see, on event, left parentheses, it's not populating. There you go. Sometimes it takes a little while to populate, but if you delete all but the left parentheses, I'll pop up all the buttons that we have here. So we're looking for a home search button, which is right here, home search button. First argument. The second argument is what action you want to look for. So in this case, if someone clicks this button, so we'll click on click, we're going to do something. So it's just going to be a empty function that we're just creating now, and that we have to leave a left curly brace and a right curly brace and an end right parentheses to end the on event, and a semicolon to end the command. So what do we want to do when they click the search button? For now, we're just going to do a console log. Okay, so we're just going to type in console log, and we're going to put in search button clicked, or search clicked. So it's just a way to let us know that this button is functioning the way that we intended. So now if you hit run and you click the search button, it's going to say search clicked. So that means this thing is working. It doesn't do anything, but yes, it will tell us that the button has been clicked. All right, so let's go ahead and hit finished, and let's go on to the next bubble. I will teach you guys how to do certain things as the time comes in terms of write code. For now, we're just going to link the screens together, and then we'll write the code as necessary. All right, let's go ahead and go to bubble 10, bubble 9. So on set screen blocks will change your app to whatever screen you specify. So if you place a set screen block inside an on event block, you can program your buttons to change the current screen. So we're going to go to using the on event block you created, make your program change to the search screen when the about search button is clicked. So we're going to do exactly the same thing. And if you're smart, you're just going to copy and paste. Control copy, Control V. Except we're not going to do it for the home button anymore. We're going to do it for the set screen button. No, I'm sorry, not set screen. The home search button. Mm, okay, so actually, we're not actually going to do this. This is already here. Never mind. Basically, this button, instead of just doing search clicked, we're actually going to show the other screen. So we're just going to type in set screen here, and we already have a screen for search. So we're just going to type in the word search. So in addition to typing search on our console screen, search clicked, we're actually going to go to the search screen, which is this screen right here. Okay, so we want to go back to home page here, click run. So now if the person clicks the search button, it will actually go to search results. Okay, search clicked. That's all for this bubble. Let's go ahead and hit continue. So now that we made one button work, we're going to follow the same pattern for the others. For each button, create an event with the appropriate screen when the button is pressed. Run your app to test all the buttons work. Okay, so we have an about, a contact, a search. So I believe this button right here is supposed to say contact. So I don't know why my button's wrong. Let's go back to the design page real quick. This button here is not supposed to say button. It's supposed to say uh, contact us or something like that. So make sure that you have the buttons correct. And again, this is, I think, imported from our previous lesson. So, which is why it's probably messed up because I didn't type it in correctly. Okay. So it should look something like this. And he basically just says, hey, you want 3 on events, 1 for home search button, 1 for home about button, and 1 for home contact button. So we can just go ahead and copy these 3, or copy the one that we already have, and paste it. And let's go ahead and write code for this. This one's going to be the home about button here. So let's see if we can get it to populate for us. I'm going to have to type it. Nope. So sometimes if you delete the left brace, nope, so it doesn't let us do it. All right. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and type it. Home underscore about button. Something like that. Maybe I spelled it wrong. Let's see. Home about BTN. So BTN. Okay, so when the home about button is clicked, do this. Now, obviously, we don't want to do search clicked. We want to say about clicked. about button click. And this is just not to actually, we want our app to actually do this, but we do want to kind of give us an indication that if a button doesn't work, the this thing will print, but it won't actually show, won't actually do what we thought it would. So we're not going to set screen to search. We're going to set screen to about. Let's make sure that we have that we called it about. Let's go to the design page. The ID is about. So let's go ahead and go back to our recycle finder here, or our home page. Look at our code. This looks good. Let's go to the next one. The next one is if the person clicks the home contact, I believe it's home contact button, say, and the console logged contact button clicked, and we're going to set screen to contact. Let's go ahead and run our program, see if we spelled everything right. So if I click on this button now, it should say about button clicked and go to the about page. Let's go ahead and run our program again. If I hit the contact us button, it says contact button clicked, and it moves us to the contact page. Okay, so these three buttons now work. Let's go on to bubble number 10, or I'm sorry, hit finish. And let's go to bubble number 11. Okay, so we basically now have taught you guys, or reviewed, since we already, kind of already did this, how on event works. On event basically says, hey, we're just going to wait for this event to happen. If the event happens, we're going to do the code inside the function curly braces. Okay. So on the event, the first parameter is the ID. So what UI element we are waiting for. The second one is what action or type of action is going to be done on the UI element. And 5 is going to be all the code that runs when this action occurs. Okay. So we taught you guys how to change a screen. It's a simple command called set screen. Set screen only takes one argument, and that's the name of the screen you want to go into. Okay. And that's it. Let's go ahead and go on to the next bubble. So this is going to be your app. So this is the app that you created already, and you created it in the previous lesson. So we're going to learn how to teach you to import it. So even though it's your screen, let's go ahead and let's see what else it asks us to do, to link all the screens. So I'm just going to give you this video today on how to finish the exercises on lesson 13. And on Monday, I'm going to give you time to start importing all your things into here, and start working on your final project. Okay. So again, we're just going to go up to this bubble, bubble number 11 for today. On Monday, we're going to teach you how to import all your screens over and link them together. And I'll show you that using the uh, the what is for lunch app. Okay, and that'll be kind of the example I show you guys. So that's all for today. I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a nice weekend.